Hello guys and welcome to my way to fire. I am bringing you another video from the series where I explain different abbreviations and terms commonly used in investing and finance. Last time we had a look at enterprise value, how to calculate it and what it is good for. In this video I am going to talk about PE ratio. Price to earnings or PE ratio is the ratio of a company's share price to the company's earnings per share. In other words, it tells you how many dollars you have to pay for every dollar of the company's earnings. To show you an example, let's take the company A. Its share is priced at $100 and its EPS is $10. To calculate the PE ratio for company A, you simply divide 100 by 10 and get 10 as the result. If you were to invest in company A, you would pay $10 for every dollar it makes. Okay, the calculation is simple, but what is this good for? It can be used if you want to compare two very similar companies. As I said in my market capitalization video, don't get fooled by the share price of a company, as different companies have a different number of outstanding shares. If we have two companies in the same business, we can compare them using the PE ratio. Let's take company A again with its share price at $100 and earnings per share at $10. Now let's add company B. Its share price is $200 and its EPS is $15. We already know the PE ratio of company A, so let's calculate it for the company B. 200 divided by 15, and we get 13.33, which tells us that we have to pay more for every dollar the company B makes. In this case, it might be better to buy shares of company A. But please be careful what you are comparing. This only works for very similar companies with similar outlooks, etc. Lower PE ratio doesn't always mean a good thing. It could also mean that the company doesn't expect much growth, is in decline, or is burdened by a big debt or some other problem. On the other hand, a higher PE ratio doesn't always mean it is bad. Some companies are traded at higher multiples as they show a lot of growth and are catching up to the valuation in a sense. What I talked about so far was the trailing price to earnings, where you take the last 12 months to calculate it. But we can also calculate the forward PE ratio. The calculation is the same, but we take analysts' estimates for the earnings instead. If a company is expected to grow, then the forward PE ratio may be a lot different from the current one. In that case, you might justify a higher multiple for a company. There are many more ways to use the PE ratio, and one of them is figuring out what the historical average PE ratio for a company is. Then you can compare it to its current price and see if the company is trading at a higher or lower multiple than it used to for the last 20 years. This concludes the main information about PE ratio. I hope you learned something new. If you found this video helpful, it would mean a lot if you hit the like button to support this channel. If you enjoy videos about investing, personal finance and just overall money related topics, then make sure you subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.